New murder charges in this deadly beating captured on camera. A teenage girl has turned herself in for the brutal attack that killed a 73-year-old man. But tonight, the lawyer for another teenager in that video says she's no killer.
Not everyone is a bad apple. You're not guilty by association.
For 60, 70 years of his life, and for his life to be snuffed out like that is just unbelievable. And
everybody, what's up? This is Trey Hearns of Truth. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my station on today. So we're going to be talking about a story that took place out of Philadelphia on yesterday. We all know that Philadelphia is known for their Liberty Bell, and it's also known for the brotherly love that they have in their city. So on yesterday, a 73-year-old man was walking down the street. His name was James Lambert. He was walking down the street like his sister said he has done for many years, took that same way home for years. And on yesterday, he was attacked by a group of teenagers. The news referred to them as kids because they were. They range from the age of 10 to 14 years old. And now a group of teens will be charged with this man's murder because they killed him by using a traffic cone. Not a bat, not a gun, but a traffic cone that they just randomly found and decided to use this cone on this man that ended his life. He was hospitalized for 2 days, and after those 2 days, he was gone. So now they're going to be charged in the case. I was listening to one of the lawyers say that they need to review all the cameras from different angles so that they can see exactly what happened, because he wanted one of the young persons that he was represented to go away for free. But to me, you're guilty by association. That's why you have to be careful of who you socialize with. So 2 brothers were involved in this crime. One was 10, one was 14. I saw a video of their mother taking them into the police station because they turned themselves in. And the 14-year-old brother, his name was, I believe it was Robert Jones. Yeah, it was Robert Jones. He was charged with 3rd-degree murder. It was a young lady that was 14 years old who also turned herself in because she was seen on camera striking this elderly man in the head 3 times with a cone. And she's going to be charged as well. They let the 10-year-old boy go because he was just with them, because he was with his brother. And I feel sorry for this 10-year-old because, you know, his life is getting ready to change. When he goes back to school, his life is getting ready to change because now he's going to be known as the boy whose brother killed an elderly man. It's the summertime. Young people are out looking for things to do. And unfortunately, when they can't find things to do, they're going to get into trouble. My son's 4 years old. I have to keep my son busy because if I don't keep him busy, he's going to get into things. When it get quiet, I know to get up because he's into something that he shouldn't be into. And parents, you have to keep your kids busy. They have cell phones. Parents, you are paying the bill on those phones. Know where your kids are at all times. This is an unfortunate situation, but one thing that I believe is that in every negative situation, you can learn something positive. And the positive thing that we're going to learn in this situation is parents, know where your kids are at all times. When I was growing up, we knew to come home when the street lights come on. But in the times we live in now, things are different. And things will never go back to being the old way. So now that we have to start creating new ways for kids in this generation to somewhat be like how we was growing up. Parents, your kids have cell phones. Make sure that your kids call you to let you know where they are. Make them take pictures because kids love posting. They love putting pictures on Instagram, love posting stuff on TikTok, on their social media. Make them take pictures to verify that they are in the location that they say that they are in. If they're at John's house, then take a picture of you at John's house. Even at night, when kids go to bed at night, make them do a bed check. Parents, do a bed check with your kids. Make them take pictures of themselves inside of their room. Parents, and you need to be getting up, walking your house to make sure that your kids are in the house after 12 o'clock. Go in their rooms. Check to make sure they're there. Pull back the covers and make sure that it's not piled up with pillows and a pile of clothes. Know where your kids are, because they out there doing crimes. And if you don't go check on your kids, they're going to expose you on social media. Talk to your kids, sit your kids down, make sure they not hanging with the wrong crowds. Talk to your friends. Because I know a lot of times people be like, oh, just stand outside because I don't want you to meet my mom. You know what I'm saying? No, mom, go to that front door and say, tell your friend to get in here. Let me talk to you. What's your name? What side of town you live on? No, I don't want your name that people call you, little boo-boo or little saint. I don't want that name. I want your full name. What's your first name? What's your last name? What street did you grow up on? Who are your parents? It's not petty. A lot of kids will say, oh, you doing too much. Oh, you not doing too much. I'm not doing enough. Talk to your kids. Know all the places that they hang out at. If they hang out on this corner, know that corner very well. Pass by that corner. Let your kids know, if you say you right here, when I pass by this street, that's where you better be. Because kids in the time we live in, they love to lie. Oh, I'm going to Sarah's house to go spend the night. And then they end up at a party where there's drugs and alcohol and kids having sex in different rooms and running trains on girls. You understand? This stuff is serious. This is the world that we live in. I feel sorry for this mom because she's embarrassed. We all train our kids up to do right. But just because you train them up to be that way doesn't mean that they're always going to make the right decisions. Kids like to follow the crowds. We don't have leaders no more in the society that we live in. It's rare for kids to be leaders. Kids like to follow. If they see this crowd smoking, they want to fit in. They want to start smoking, start drinking, start having sex at early age, start getting involved in crimes. I tell my nieces and nephews all the time, leaders are not meant to fit in, so stop trying to fit in. You was born to stand out. So there are certain things that you're not going to be able to do that other people are going to be able to do. Don't get discouraged. Just understand that you are of a different breed. That's the family that you come from. We are a family of morals, and we have dignity and honor. And there's some things that you can't do that other people might be able to do. And young people, y'all need to start making better choices. I say this all the time. Start making better choices, because the choices that you make in those split seconds is going to cost you a lifetime of pain. And unfortunately, now this boy is going to have to pay for what he done. Because he thought it was cool to go strike an elderly man inside of his head. This generation is losing respect for elderly people. Parents, teach your kids how to have respect for the generation that came before him. They should have been helping this young man, this elderly man, make it home instead of striking him. I don't even know if they even had a motive for why they did what they did to this man. But these kids need to pay for their crime. They need to pay for what they done. This is serious. And now this family has to bury their elderly loved one. A cone, y'all. That just took me. A cone? You just found a random cone that was out and decide to hit somebody in the head with it. Parents, give your kids something to do so they won't be out here in the streets making bad decisions. Put them in different programs. It's the summertime. Even if they got to go over grandma's house until you come home from work, then so be it. Kids are not running it. Parents are. Parents, y'all better step up y'all game. Your kids are not in control. You run that house. You paying them bills. To this young man, I'm sorry, not young man. I'm so used to saying young man. But to this elderly man who lost his life, my prayers goes out to your family, because now they have to bury their loved one because of the foolish act of some teens who was bored walking down the street and just found a cone and they decide to use it to have a bit of fun. Even for the lawyers that's getting ready to represent these young people in this case, don't let the people that you represent get away just because you want to win their case. They did wrong and they need to take responsibility for what they've done. That's what's wrong with these young people, because we don't make them take accountability for their actions. They need to take accountability for what they've done. If they didn't do it, fine, let them go. But if they struck this man that ended his life, they need to give their life for taking a life. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm Trey Hearns, The Truth, and I'm out.